Dun 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 dun. Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. Today I bring you terrible news, and it has nothing to do with Jack Skellington being blown to smithereens. Now, most people know that Games Workshop move at a blistering pace. Their turnover of products is incredibly high, and you need a jetpack, or a jet bike, one or the other, to keep up with their release schedule. They release new content every single weekend. And what that means is that when products have served their purpose, they tend to get left by the wayside, and products that people might want to see getting more support don't always get them. I'm at peace with that. I like their box games, and I like the fact that a lot of them are a single purchase and have a complete game experience in a box. It's quite refreshing. But sometimes there are game systems that you would like to run and run. And one of those game systems is Warhammer Quest. Warhammer Quest Silver Tower and Warhammer Quest Shadows Over Hammerhal, two of my favourite games of all time. I think they are a brilliant re-implementation of the original Warhammer Quest product, and I've done comprehensive written reviews of them, which you can find on my blog. I'll put a link down there in the video description to my blog if you want to go and check out those written reviews. But it has recently come to light that Silver Tower and Shadows Over Hammerhal have been pulled from Games Workshop's catalogue, along with some of their other products like Betrayal at Calth and Burning of Prospero. And that's a bit sad, because Warhammer Quest is cool, and I would have liked to have seen some more products. And of course, the fact that they've discontinued, or appear to have discontinued, these original products does not mean that they're never going to release anything new for the product line. I can hold my breath and cross my fingers and cross my toes and wish real hard, and they may still release some further content for the product line. But it does mean that for the foreseeable future, that it's possibly the end of an era for that particular game system. And it's a cool game system. So first and foremost, if you love Silver Tower and Shadows Over Hammerhal, or if you wanted to get it and now you can't, contact Games Workshop. Let them know that it doesn't need to die a death. Let them know that they can bring it back and people will buy it, because Games Workshop aren't going to stock a product that people aren't going to buy. So let them know. You never know what will happen. One of the reasons that they've possibly discontinued or removed from sale these products, or stopped making new sets, is because they have recently teased the announcement of Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress, which is Warhammer Quest in space. It is the 40k version of Warhammer Quest, which is a game that I have had in my mind and wanted since I was a wee bairn. It's something that I've always thought would be amazing, to be a space marine or something, and to adventure in through the 40k setting in a Warhammer Quest style. And that is very, very exciting to me, and I am looking forward to that immensely. And you know, maybe they'll do that, and then maybe they'll go back to the fantasy line. Who knows? But anyway, so that's a thing, and that's kind of inspired me to run this video, which has had an incredibly long introduction and hasn't got to the point yet. So let's do that. Let's get to the point. Go away, you. This is the point. This is White Dwarf magazine. This is the December 2017 White Dwarf magazine, the January 2018 White Dwarf magazine, and the February 2018 White Dwarf magazine. These magazines are no longer available in newsagents and no longer available direct from Games Workshop, but you may be able to pick them up on eBay. I know there are copies floating around on eBay quite regularly. Why am I showing you these? Because these three magazines basically represent possibly the best content that White Dwarf has ever produced, but I am biased because I love Warhammer Quest so much. But they also represent a fantastic expansion for Warhammer Quest. So December 2017, it kicked it all off, and it presents a new set of rules for Shadows Over Hammerhal, and a whole swathe of extra features. This is going to be spoiler free, by the way. I'm not going to show anything that the hero shouldn't see, or that the dungeon master should keep to themselves, or the game master. But basically, this magazine, it came with a bunch of cards on the front, which, free gifts. There were some special treasure cards which were related to missions that were going to be in the magazine. There were some new treasure cards just to shuffle into the treasure card deck. There were some new skills to put into the skill card deck, and there was a few reference cards and things like that. So that was cool in itself. There wasn't a huge quantity of extra items, but any additional skills and treasures are much appreciated for Warhammer Quest, because it's one of the areas where I always thought it was a little bit thin on the ground. Even combining Silver Tower and Shadows Over Hammerhal together, which you can do even if the cards have got different backs, they've got different designs on the back, but you can still shuffle them together, put them in plain sleeves, or just draw from the bottom. That's what I do, and I mix them together, that's fine. But you can never have too many treasures and skills in a dungeon crawler. So that was the first thing that it did. The second thing it did was introduce a series of 3 missions, which they introduced to the Hammerhal setting in a very, very clever way. In Shadows Over Hammerhal, the whole mission it's one single mission made up of a massive sprawling dungeon which is on levels, and throughout the course of your adventure you can go up and down, you can revisit levels, and then every now and again you can go topside and visit Cinderfall, which is the district immediately above the dungeon. And there was a whole range of activities in the base game that you could do. This White Dwarf magazine introduced some additional activities, one of which was going to the Raven Bridge Bastille, where you could take a job. And there were 3 jobs, and which are 3 new missions. There was 1 mission in this issue, and then the other 2 missions are in the other 2 magazines that I've shown you. So you could go to Cinderfell and you could take a break from your main mission, and to take employment to go and clear out one of these other dungeons. And that introduced, under this flap where it says Game Master's Eyes Only, is a map and a whole new mission, a standalone mission that you can do from Cinderfell, and then you can go back to your original questing. That's very cool. It introduced a lot of the monsters that were available in the adversary deck, which was a separate purchase, but it also, every type of monster that's listed, there is an alternative monster which comes from the Shadows Over Hammerhal base game. So you don't need to have those other products, you don't need to have purchased those other items. But so there was these extra missions. The other thing that it did, it introduced some new activities, and one of them was actually hiring a mercenary. You could go to the Guild of Blades, and there was a selection of mercenaries that you could choose from. And there were special rules for how those mercenaries work. Basically, most of the mercenaries were from the Silver Tower set, and then there was 2 new mercenaries that they introduced here, the Free Guild General and the Gunmaster. And they work exactly like a hero. Whoever sort of hires them controls them, but they're not allowed to gain renown or skills, and they only last for 1 mission. The first time you return to Cinderfall, they go. Which is quite nice, because one of the things in Hammerhal is trying to incentivize the heroes to stay in the dungeon for longer, because the basic rules, they could kind of duck out whenever they wanted to, which took away some of the threat. But it's quite nice to know that if they go back topside, they lose their mercenaries and they have to hire them again. And the other thing is that the mercenaries, they can get gold, but they won't share it with the heroes. They keep it all to themselves because they're mercenaries. And so that was a cool way of adding in some extra heroes, giving your group, your party, some ways to change up how they play. And of course, you will notice that here on the Free Guild General there is a way of gaining renown, and down here there's a way of gaining renown. And that's because these mercenaries also work as heroes in their own right. So you can actually play as the Free Guild General, or you can hire a Free Guild General as a mercenary. And that is cool also. Yeah, so there was a lot of cool stuff added in to this magazine. And then I'll put that to one side for a moment. And then there is the January 2018 issue, which has the second mission. I'll go to the centre pages. I have to be careful because both flaps are hiding Game Master content here. It doesn't say Game Master Eyes Only, which is naughty, but if you lift either of these flaps, you get secrets that only the Games Master is supposed to know, because it's a bigger mission. No new rules or anything, just the extra mission. And then, in the February magazine, you had the third and final mission, which completed the set, and also there is a secret in here as well. There is a secret for when you complete all 3 missions that links these missions and Hammerhal with Silver Tower. It creates a way to incorporate both the Silver Tower and the Hammerhal box set into one campaign. I will not say any more than that, but it's a cool little feature. It's not earth-shattering. It's pretty straightforward, but it is a cool little tweak, a cool little addition, and a cool way to extend your campaign and to have some extra fun and surprise your heroes with a twist that they didn't see coming. So that is pretty cool. So there we have it. That is a 3-part expansion over 3 months, and I would say it really is like a mini expansion. It's got a lot of content in it. It's got the new skills, the new treasures. It's got the new mercenary rules, the chance to acquire mercenaries, but also 2 new heroes. It's got the 3 new missions, plus some extra activities, and a way to link Hammerhal and Silver Tower together. That is quite a lot of content, and it's a very, very cool little groovy thing, and it represents a way that Games Workshop can continue to support the Warhammer Quest product line, and I hope they do continue to support it, because this was really cool. This was a lot of fun, and you know, you don't need to constantly keep putting out new Warhammer Quest boxes if you're doing this in the magazine, because the thing about Warhammer Quest is every miniature that Games Workshop make for Age of Sigmar is usable in the game pretty much. You either hash out your own rules for them, or there already might be some rules for them in the adversary cards or whatever. So you've already got access to lots of villains and heroes and things like that. But content like that in White Dwarf every now and again just keeps the game ticking over. And perhaps until such time as one day down the line they decide to release a 3rd big box in the Warhammer Quest series. So this was just a quick look at this. I want to reiterate, these are not in regular distribution anymore, but if you have Silver Tower and Shadows over Hammerhal, particularly if you have Shadows over Hammerhal, because this is specifically for using with Shadows over Hammerhal, and then there's like a thing for adding in Silver Tower at the end, but it's predominantly for Shadows over Hammerhal. So if you have that game and want to expand it, I do recommend you try and hunt down these 3 issues. If you buy December 2017, make sure you are buying it with cards on the front. You can't really play the missions properly without those cards. Some of the cards are special treasures that are found in the missions, and those special treasures have an impact on the storyline as well. So if there's no cards, no bye-bye. But yeah, it's cool. This is something that I hope we see more of. Obviously we haven't seen any since February 2018, so it's been a little while. But never say never, never say die. what can I say? Let's sum up. What can I say? If you have Shadows over Hammerhal, want to expand it, hunt these issues down. If you don't have Shadows over Hammerhal or Silver Tower and you're interested in them, you might want to move quick because they are going out of print. If you know someone with stock, you might want to consider buying it. Just bear in mind that there's a possibility that there may never be any more expansions for it. Games Workshop don't tend to revisit a game once they pull it, once they stop printing it. Space Hulk is the main exception really. That one keeps coming back every now and again. So be aware of that. If you're about to buy Silver Tower or Shadows over Hammerhal, it may be that you can't expand the game in the way you might want. The hero cards and the adversary cards are, I think the hero cards are already impossible to find. The adversary cards, you might be able to find a few decks of those somewhere, but even those are going out of print. So, and that is what it is. Warhammer Quest is a wonderful product. It's a wonderful game. I've had so much fun with it. It ranks very, very highly in my collection, and I love it to bits. And I do hope we get some more content for it, either through White Dwarf like this, or as another big box down the line. And in the meantime, yeah, I cannot wait for Warhammer Quest, Blackstone Fortress, because that's a dream come true. That's a childhood dream come true. So very excited about that also. I have talked for long enough. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, drop them down there. I pretty much always respond to comments if I can. I try my best to, so I will answer questions if you have them. And that's it from me for now. I hope you found this interesting. If you haven't, sorry, I guess. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.